All right, today we're going to dive into something called the SNS method. It's a really fascinating system for innovation, and what's wild is that it all started with a feeling I think every single one of us has had before.
You know that feeling, right? When you're looking at how something is done, at work, in an organization, anywhere, and you just think to yourself, this is just completely backwards. This makes absolutely zero sense. That exact feeling of frustration, that was the starting point for this whole story. And see, for one team at an organization called SNS, this wasn't just some gripe they had around the water cooler. That feeling became their actual mission. They decided to take that frustration and turn it into the very reason to change everything. At its heart, the problem was really simple. It just felt like common sense was totally missing from their day-to-day processes. But instead of just complaining about it, for the SNS team, this became the spark that lit a fire. It kicked off a complete reinvention of how they worked. So that frustration launched this massive search for a better way, a more logical, more human approach to solving really complex problems. And that search led them straight to the doorsteps of the pioneers in this space. We're talking the giants, like Stanford's D School and the legendary innovation firm IDEO. And what they found there was their answer: design thinking. Now, look, this wasn't just some trendy corporate buzzword they slapped on a PowerPoint. For them, it was the missing blueprint. It finally gave them a repeatable, human-first process to systematically build the common sense they felt was missing all along.
But here's the thing, right? A great blueprint is useless if you try to build on a shaky foundation. SNS knew they couldn't just adopt a process, they had to build an entire culture around it, an environment where this new way of thinking could actually grow and succeed.
So they built that culture on what they call the 3 Ps. First up, purpose, making sure everyone understands the why behind what they're doing. That purpose is then brought to life through a consistent process. That's their design thinking framework in action. And finally, and this is the most important part, none of it works without the right people. Individuals who are empowered and have the right mindset to really push things forward. Well, that brings up a pretty obvious question, doesn't it? What exactly does it mean to be one of the right people? For them, the right people are found at the intersection of 3 core things. It starts with attitude. Are you curious? Are you accountable? Then you've got skills, things like logical thinking and just being business savvy. And finally, knowledge, having that deep technical expertise in your field. They believe the real magic happens right in that sweet spot where all 3 of those circles overlap. Okay, so with that cultural bedrock of purpose, process, and people in place, they then built 5 huge pillars on top of it. And I want to be clear, this is not just a random checklist. It's a fully interconnected system where every part feeds into the next. And check out how this whole thing flows. It all starts inside, with a culture of constant learning and creativity that naturally fuels personal career development. As people grow, they start looking outward, contributing through social responsibility and building these critical industry partnerships. The whole thing creates this powerful, continuous growth cycle that turns individual progress into massive real-world impact. And when they talk about learning, they mean business. This isn't about, abstract theories. It's about getting your hands dirty, mastering tools that are in high demand, and earning real industry certifications from places like Databricks and AWS. The whole point is to build skills that are ready for the real world from day one. Now, a system this ambitious needs a smart way to keep it all on track. So for execution, they use proven tools. For the big picture targets, they use OKRs, objectives, and key results. And to manage all the little steps to get there, they use SMART goals. But to keep people energized and motivated, they added a layer of gamification to make the whole process engaging and, honestly, fun. So they've built this incredible human-first system, and it's working beautifully. So what's the next logical step? Well, you add some jet fuel to the fire, and for them, that jet fuel is artificial intelligence. And their philosophy on this is absolutely crucial. They are crystal clear that for them, AI is not a replacement for humans. It's an accelerator. It's a tool designed to amplify and supercharge the amazing human-centered system they've already built. So what does that actually look like? Well, imagine an AI building a completely personalized career roadmap just for you, or an AI that can generate custom practice tests and study notes whenever you need them. They're even using it to pull in real-world challenges from top-tier startup incubators like Y Combinator. letting their teams sharpen their skills on the exact same problems the next big tech companies are trying to solve. When you put it all together, the culture, the pillars, the AI, it's all driving toward one massive ultimate goal. The vision here is so much bigger than just teaching people a few new skills. It's about fundamentally installing design thinking as a core operating system for the mind, creating an entrepreneurial mindset where every single problem looks like an opportunity.
And that massive vision, it has a number attached to it. A very, very big number. Their goal is to use this entire system to launch 1,000 new AI startups in the next 10 years. So you see, this isn't just a training program. It's an engine, a factory for creating brand new businesses from the ground up. And that right there is the whole transformation. They started with frustration and a total lack of process and ended up with a purpose-driven system. They moved from random, ad hoc ideas to a growth mindset supercharged by AI. They stopped just trying to make things a little bit better and started redesigning everything for true excellence.
When you really look at the SNS story, it's an amazing blueprint. It shows what's possible when you decide to systematically replace frustration with a well-thought-out system, and then amplify that system with the right technology. It kind of leaves you with one big question to chew on. What audacious goal in your life or in your work is just one good system away from actually becoming a reality?